So, what are the components of an arena attack team? So, I do have quite a few teams set up, and they all have different purposes, but you do see some common champions around here. These are all my speed leads. Depending on who I'm facing, I might want to go very tanky. I might need the blocks here, and if I think I'm going to be slower than them, then I would go with a team like this where Leoris will stay alive at the very beginning. So there are different purposes. I do have a blender set up. I did break down some of these champs for Hydra, so I don't mainly use that one. And then I have for, use one champ of each affinity. So those are the only reasons why I would use certain ones like that. So all in all, this is my main team of these four. My Arbiter could be a little faster, but I pumped my CV up instead, which is a good combination. So in a case like this, I could easily drop them with AoE attack. So that's why, just to be quicker, I'll throw Leoris in there instead of Rotos. Which was bad. If this is the case, then hopefully everyone else dies. Here we go. And now Leoris will do his job. There you have it. So these are reasons why I do use Leoris, just in case I'm not first. Let's switch to throwing Bogoth in instead. Bogoth does just help to keep the team alive, again, if I'm not first. And then this Trunda should go ahead and nuke everyone. And this Bogoth will just help keep the team alive, and of course Leoris does his job. On teams like this is where I would switch to a Rotos build, because these are very tanky teams. I will need the ignore defense and ignore shields out of Rotos, and I want to pick them off one by one by one. With 3 revivers here, this is going to be a very tanky and challenging team to get through. So the constant cleansing, the constant buffing, and I need Rotos to do that single target damage so I can pick them off one by one. The problem is with Ally Protect, Leoris doesn't do as much damage. He could work, but I find Rotos works better. Plus my Rotos is built better. So here goes the Ally Protect first, or the Ally Attack. We'll put up our buffs now. We'll ignore theirs, and this is where I'm going to turn it off. Turn got mismatched, so I'm going to have to manually do this now. Let's see if I can actually beat these guys with strategy over sheer power. So the thing with a team like this is block debuffs is put up by both of them at the exact same time. And although Krisk extends, they may very well fall. So it's just a matter of timing it. And then the other benefit with Rotos in the mix is that when Rotos gets him down to about 60% health with his A2 skill, he will block revive, and so they cannot revive themselves. Not to mention I have 2 revivers on a team like this, so they can easily pick them up, and we can continue on. So it may take some time, but we can get it done. And also the pair of Siphi and Rotos together, Siphi will cleanse all of Rotos' buffs. forward and run to the end at this point. Alright, so they were slightly faster than me. That's fine. We can move on to another team. So another team that I like to use this combination on is any Tormund teams. And that's just because Sifi goes first to put the block up, so Tormund doesn't have a chance to freeze anybody. And if they do, Sifi does cleanse. With her passive, she cleanses any freeze and fear, 40% chance, booked up to 50% chance. So there is that chance as well. Now with Candy being in the mix, this is a team that I might throw a Rotos in, sorry, a Eorius in, just because I'm going to want that AoE attack to get him through his veil. And although those Arbiters first, their other speed champs are not fast. And so there's an example of my refresh ring going right away. I don't need it, but the next time CP has a turn, it's ready to go, rather than being on cooldown. So this is the importance of having a refresh piece on your champions. Just to give you an idea of some of these teams. Hegemon teams are also tough. So Hegemon teams, he does have a chance, depending on how they're built, to drop that first turn. So here's where I'm going to want a Rotos, just because of Sifi to be cleansing them, in case he does get the block on him. And there you go. That Hedgie has quite low accuracy, so it didn't land on anyone. Or it's just a nuke Hedgie. I'm not going to use my decreased defense here, just because I know that Duchess is coming up. So I'm just going to drop a turn meter here, which didn't work. There it is. So in this case now, I'm going to drop her. Drop the second reviver. They can all counterattack. And Rotos finishes him off. There you have it. So Arena is quite easy. This is another quite difficult team. This might be a team I don't even bother with, to be honest. This is another tricky team as well. But again, because they don't have a speed lead, I know I'm going to go first every time, and Warlord will be the first target on a team like this, just to make sure that he's down. Otherwise, he's going to put all my champ skills on cooldown, which is pretty much game over at that point. So buff up, buff up. We're going to drop her if we can. And then we will make sure he dies, which changes their teams around. Yeah, saw that coming. So let's see if they are pre-built. Team preset or not. They are, see? So rather than being Duchess on full auto, this person has her set to use open with her A2. But if she was on full auto, she would be picking up Warlord at this point, and everyone would be veiled. So it would be much harder of a team to get through. But because they had a team preset, that's what happened. So when I team preset my teams, my Duchess is not opening with a skill, just to make sure that if they go first, my Duchess would pick everyone else up. Didn't work as nicely, but at this point I think we could still win. The champs don't hit that hard. We'll just pick them off one by one, Again, this freeze, CP has 50% chance to cleanse, and when it gets to Rotos' turn, everything gets cleansed. Warlord's skill should be coming up again, which should make this challenging, but Rotos does cycle through his skills quite quickly, so Ted, and then we should be able to drop him and be done with it. So it just takes time. I mean, 3.5 minutes to kill a team like that, but you will have to manual it in order to make sure everyone dies. But Rotos is a beast of a combo. And so this is the other option here. Every time you have Valkyrie on the team, they do push your turn meter back when you do buff. So you have a speed lead here, but even if I go first with Sifi, Valkyrie is going to push my turn meter back. So I need to make sure that I'm going before their Duchess. Obviously, Hegemon will push turn meters back. Let's see what happens. And there you have it. So it's just a matter of understanding who you're facing, what they do, and how you're going to counter them on the team. So, in a team like this, Candy will Veil, Duchess Veils. You probably want something AoE based, but then you have Brogni put in the mix who does heal based on the AoE. So I would go single target and just pick them off one by one in a case like this, because Brogni is difficult to deal with, especially when he heals on damage when you hit them, and then with all the blocks that he puts out. So it's understanding the team you're facing and then putting a team together to counter them. In a case like this team here, I know that they're going to be quite weak. So what I would do is go with Elioris here, because if they are faster, which they are not, surprisingly, they might get this shit. No. Well, so much for that. Quite easy. Anyways, there you have it. Farm, because you do need your gold medals to upgrade. I know it's tedious and annoying, but it becomes mindless once you have a good auto team.